So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I built this hand sander that mounts up on your French cleats. Okay, the plan is to make one of those kind of holders for this guy here. And this is what I've kind of come up with. Back piece here, the French cleat will sit up at the top there. This will rest on the next row of cleats. I originally was just going to do a brace, but as you can see, it's kind of lacking as far as support goes toward the front. There's quite a bit of a gap there. So I either would have had to have increased the angle, but what I decided to do was make a little shelf here to hold the discs. And that will provide additional support for the unit itself, because it's actually not too heavy if I take the battery off of it. So with these, just the shelf alone should be enough. But I'm just going to keep those because I took the time to cut it. So yeah, that's the plan. Start putting it together. So I learned from past mistakes, starting in the center and then building up or down. I'm going to start and make sure the bottom shelf is on correctly because there's extra room at the top. So I'll start at the bottom and then put this shelf together here, or the supports there, and then this one on. And then everything should fit, rather than putting this on and then finding out that this kind of hangs over the bottom. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work up, and that little process has served me well since I learned the first time. All right, so I got it flipped over on the back side. Going to use this and use these to go through. This will give me plenty good penetration all the way through. Hold it tight. Also going to slap on a little bit of this just to make sure. And the size screw I'm using is right there. So I will probably just put 2 here, and then on the supports going up, probably 1. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I will do it and then show it rather than guessing. Okay, we've got the majority of it together. Don't have these little accent, the original, what were going to be the original support pieces. I'm still going to throw them on there because I think it'll, I don't know, make it look pretty. But I got the shelf and everything. It's all glued in. Everything is glued. So from the back side, got 2 screws going into the top shelf, 1 each on these sides to pull them back, hold them in, and then 2 screws for the bottom shelf. And on the bottom shelves going in here, I've got, 4 screws there, and just 2 on the top, because all the ones on the back, that's more than enough with the glue to keep that completely stable. So before I went any further with those side pieces, I'm going to put the, what do you call it? Yeah. Oh, the linseed oil. Yeah, if I can think, linseed oil on, and see these will sit in here, and I can write the grits on the end. Still got room for some more. I think they'll nice handy place. I don't have to have them in a drawer somewhere. They'll be right with the sander. So yeah, we'll get the Murphy's oil soap done. Then I'll secure these up and be back with the final product when it's hanging on the wall. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna need any, I don't know, edges coming up. I don't think I'm gonna need any rails like that, because it's not gonna get bumped around. I'm just gonna basically sit it and pick it up. But we'll see. If I ever almost drop it, I'll throw some on. Okay, we've got the linseed oil on and drying. I think it really brings out the darks and the side grain of the plywood, which I kind of like. Yeah, gives it a little bit of detail, but not too much. It's a natural look, and I can reapply it. Okay, so since this is not structural anymore, I am just going to use a little pin nailer to put that in and a little bit of glue. That'll just be the accent piece. Okay, so for the final step, just mounting the French cleat to the back with some glue and 3 screws. Now I did have to step down so they wouldn't push through the front. And the standard size cleat is there. So I didn't want this top of this to get raised up too high, so I took it through the bandsaw and ripped it, made it a little bit shorter. So makes it so it doesn't sit up so high. With this size cleat, it sits nicely right there, because it was going to fall in here anyway. And if I had a bigger cleat, it would have been up high and maybe messed with something I wanted to mount above. So I try to make the cleats as low profile over the top as I can. Okay, we are all done with it. It turned out pretty good. Got a place to set this, and it's not really in a way to get knocked over. So got room for, I don't know, maybe 2 more, maybe 3 more if I get them in there. So nice to keep them all in one spot. Quick and easy little French cleat holder, nothing fancy. And like I said, maybe I'll put stuff here, but it's just not going to, just don't think it's going to get knocked off. I don't think it needs rails. I think it's nice just to be able to throw it up there, and even if it tips back, so most of the time it won't be stored with the battery to tip it back. So that wraps it up.